How we doing, guys? Better redo a load of video because a lot of the old files were corrupt, so we're not able to use it. I have got some fiberglass and stuff done. So today I'm going to be doing more fiberglassing and some more repairs. I'll go over, I'll show what I have done, but then I will go into showing you how I have done it, what I've done, why I've done it. So I hope you continue to like the videos. Hope you continue to follow. Can't get my words out now, can I? As you can imagine, it's cold down here, hence why I'm wrapped right up. It's about 4 degrees in here. So hopefully we'll get the clam all repaired today, fill it out, smoothed out, and hopefully by the end of the weekend in some primer. That's sort of my main goal. So then the front clam will be pretty much prepped, ready, done for paint. And then we'll move on to the next stage of the car. I hope you enjoy the video, and let's crack on. So I've just butchered this one off of another clam. Chopped it off because my headlight supporting bracket, where the headlight bolts to, is completely missing. So I've chomped that off of there, and I will be bonding that into there to re-support it. Needs cleaning up a little bit, needs a little bit of work, but nothing too drastic. This one I'm going to make a brace for if I can't find another part out of any salvage bits I've got out the front. So for now I'm going to clean this up, try and get this existing part taken off, debonded, trim this back to where I sort of see fit. So it needs to go there. Might keep it. No, I'll trim it off. Yeah, so that's where we're at the minute. A bit more cleaned up, and then I'm going to start making up some fiberglass and start getting some actual fiberglass work done and some repairs done. I'm chopping up some fiberglass. So basically, I'll cut a size that I roughly want, and I'll put it where I want to use it. So, for argument's sake, this one is going there. As you can tell that I marked it, and then all I do is trim it down to the shape. So here's one I made earlier. Wahee. So I know roughly that's going to fit somewhere there, like so. Tuck in down underneath here. So I'll do a few layers of that. I've cut plenty of slabs to come up here and cover all of this area, all down here. I only use, I don't know what grade this is, but it's pretty thin. It looks like thick wadding, but you can actually separate it, which I have over here. No, that's all separated. So I've got my resin, my hardener, sorry. Got my resin, and all I'm going to do is just mix up a little bit, soak the whole area where I want to put the fiberglass, leave that for a few minutes, then put another layer of resin over the top of it, and then I'll start laying the fiberglass down. So I've just mixed up some resin. I'll probably put too much hardener in it. I'm hoping, because it's quite cold, it's going to take a little while to go off. So all I literally do is just brush it on the whole area where I want it. So as you can see, the hot glue is holding that nice and tight. It's not moving anywhere. I still haven't done the bottom, but that's not moving anywhere. So I can put a bit of pressure on to get the resin where I want it. You don't need heaps, you don't need loads. Just make sure you cover the whole area. Give it a bit, like 5 minutes or so to soak in. Because when you fiberglass different surfaces, the part that you're fiberglassing can actually absorb most of the resin, rather than it holding onto your panel that you want to fiberglass. So the new strands of fiberglass that you want to put down, it can sometimes not really go into that because the item that you're trying to fiberglass will absorb all the resin. So it's not really ideal. which, as you can imagine, because you do want it to absorb into what you're fiberglassing onto, but you don't want it to absorb all of it. So just spread it out and get some up here. I will probably be cutting this section out that you can't actually see on the camera, so we'll try and adjust that. So up here, this is a section that I plan to cut out. I don't know if you'll be able to see it properly, but I plan to cut it out so the front end's smooth, it's flush, because at the minute it's not. And I don't particularly like it. So over here, I've got this corner section I said that I'll glue on. I've glued it on, she's nice and solid. So I'm just going to soak this in resin so I can get some fiberglass over it. And then we are going to leave that for about 5 minutes. So we're going to leave that for about 5 minutes. Camera's gone wonky, never mind. We're going to leave that for about 5 minutes. Leave it all to cure. Well, not fully cure. We want like a tacky status. Once it's a bit tacky, we'll put another layer over the top, and then we'll start laying down our fiberglass, and then hopefully we'll have a nice, strong, solid repair. Now we'll start laying in some fiberglass. It's a little bit sticky, a bit more sticky than I'd like, but we can sort that out. So what you want to do is just go layer at a time. You don't need to drench it, but all I do is dab it in. Using a bits at a time. So as you can see, that part's flexing, so I can actually, with the hot glue, it's actually holding it enough for me just to put a good bit of pressure on to be able to push this in. You want to get rid of as much of the air bubbles as you can as you go. Just take your time, as long as you ain't use too much hardener. Like I may possibly have, you ain't really got a rush. You can just take your time. And get it right in every nook and cranny. I do advise to use a mask as well, but as I said before, part-time projects, full-time idiots. For the more trickier curves and things like that, you want the fiberglass thin, so it's easier to blend round shapes. You don't want thick strands, because the thicker it is, the harder it is to bend and manipulate to how and where you want it. Once you've got shapes and stuff that you want, you can then add a thicker layer to give it strength and support it. So I'll move you around this way a bit. It's not a great image, but we're going to try and tackle this corner now. I've got some small offcuts. So this has been drying for a little while. So I'm just going to use the offcuts just to try and get this in place to reinforce this. So as you can tell where it's thicker fiberglass, just lifting up there. Until you get it It's all wet enough, should we say. To manipulate it to where you want it. Get a couple more layers on there, because this is the main fixing point for the front clamp to bolt down onto the actual car, so we need it quite strong. So that's going to be that, but this side doesn't need to be pretty, as long as it does what you need it to do, which in my case is secure my headlight bracket and just reinforce a few cracks that you can see on the opposite side. As long as it does that, we're good. So you can make everything look pretty on the other side. This side you very rarely see. I will obviously tidy it up and it will be all getting painted black once it's all done, so it just looks a little bit better, but for now, that's it. On this side, I've got that bracket all braced in. It's all fiberglassed in. Obviously needs shaping, needs altering, not altering, just needs shaping up and moving up. Resin's still curing. On this bit that was snapped off, covered it in dust because I'm handy. That is all now secure, so I just need to trim that back, and then I can fiberglass the opposite side when I flip the whole clam over. But the task at the minute is I've been working on these louvers, even if that's what they're called. So obviously this one was broke down here. That is all fiberglass at back, re-strengthened up. I've cleaned them up a little bit. I haven't cleaned them up great. I'll clean that side once they're all stuck in place, but I've got them so they sit nicer, they sit flatter on this side of the clam. So at the minute, that's on the both of them. They both sit nice. I've made some measurements from the back edge to this edge, from that side to this side. I've measured them so they are both within like a millimetre of each other. So you're never going to see that. So that is that done. I've been cutting up fiberglass strands, so we've got loads of strands. So basically, I'm going to lay these across the back, the whole way across. So then that will help bond that in there. And then I've got some pieces down there somewhere that I'll be laying all the way across, over the top of them, all the way across, down around the side, and then more up here as well. So this time they shouldn't go anywhere. They should not go anywhere. And yeah, that's what we're going to be doing next. So I will crack on with that, and I hope you guys enjoy what I film. So I've gone round with a 4.5 inch grinder and a flat disc, and I've put this little V in wherever it meets. Just so, I don't know if you can tell really, just so when I fill it up with fiberglass, I can blend it all in. See with the gaps, I can get a nice fill in there to get it up. I need to get rid of this loose stuff. Actually, that's part of it, so I'll probably just go over the top of that. It's keyed up, so it should be good. Down here with the headlights, this is nice and strong, so it's not going anywhere, so I'm really happy with that. Obviously, I've got to go over the top with fiberglass putty. I need to cut around these holes so the headlight can slip in, the clips underneath. Trim all this back. Down here, still got a bit more sanding to do, but it's nothing drastic. So the fiberglass is in there, so I just need to clean all this out and then just go round with the putty again, get it all smooth, get it blended so it looks nice, so it looks like how it's meant to be. Over onto this one. Again, this is solid now. This is all, that ain't moving anywhere. So my headlights will actually stay in the car. They'll bolt. Obviously, I need to put a hole in here because there's a single bolt that goes through the back, and then there's two clips that slot in underneath. So I need to cut these out. But over this side, this is all nice and strong again. And again with this loaf, it's a V shape all the way around it. It's all keyed up. Obviously this isn't keyed up, but for now that would be good enough to do what I need to get done, and then I can hand sand all this down. So we're going to crack on with that now. There is still more bits need to be done. Like I still need to do inside here. Just got a step there. I don't really want the step there. I'll rather blend it in. But we've got my blob of fiberglass there. We've fiberglassed all around here and where the cracks were in this. There was a lot of sanding to do. Fiberglass P40 is the worst sort of stuff to use. It's a pain in the backside. You can't get a smooth finish. You can get almost a smooth finish, but it's never perfectly smooth. Again, over here, this one is all fiberglassed in and in place. It's just lots of sanding I'm going to need to do, so it's going to be a really tough grit. Probably like 60 or something to get the majority of it off. There was a nick out there, a couple of nicks down here that they've all been sorted. Main part of the front here, that's all fillered in and fiberglass in and sorted, so there's still lots to do. Now, I'm going to probably look at trying to take this off. I've never ever liked it, never have, still don't think I ever will, and I think it needs to come off. Don't know, should we see how good I am with a grinder? This could go terribly wrong. Fiberglass has gone off. I've started sanding already, just like tested it out because it wasn't like properly soft. It's a little bit tacky. But I'm going to now start sanding everything up. Start getting it all a bit smooth. Might get some primer on it today, but time is definitely running out and quickly. So we're going to see how we can get on today. Hopefully we'll get the majority done. And, yeah, let's just get on with it, eh? I've already started sanding. I've got some filler down. Just going to be sanding this up in this video. Probably mix up a little bit more filler so we can get it as smooth as we possibly can, and then hopefully finally get some primer on it. I'm a bit further behind than I originally wanted to be, but nevertheless progress being made. This is the main panel that needs a large amount of work, so let's crack on with it, eh? So I've spent the morning figuring out what I wanted to do with the front of the car. I wanted it a little bit more aggressive, so I built the front splitter, and it looked a bit too big on its own. I've always liked the idea of having some canards, so I've got some, like, I don't know what it's really called, but I've got some like styrofoam, hard foam. It's a little bit flexible. You can sand it nice and lightly and shape it to how you want. It's easy to cut, it's easy to form. It's got a slight bit of bend in it, so I got some of that, and I started coming up with some ideas for a canard, and this is sort of my final result of how I'm going to want it to look. Obviously it looks a little wonky because obviously the car's a bit wonky, so if I just sort of level the camera up like that, there we go. It doesn't look so bad. So that's going to be sort of the final finish. Now the canards that are at this foams, hard foam stuff, I'm going to be going over the top of them with fiberglass to make fiberglass ones, have a lip to attach them to the actual front of the car. And then once they're obviously all built and the rear splitter's all finally done, when they're all attached, they will be attached level and square and plumb and everything else like that. So for now, we're going to get the front splitter off. Going to get that sanded down a little bit more, add a little bit more filler just to get it nice. In the process, we're going to be taking moulds of these two. I'm probably going to go with the right one. I think the right one looks a little bit better. They are slightly different. I think the right one looks a little bit better. So I'm going to make another one of them and then just copy it. And then the front end is done and ready for paint. So hopefully we'll have that all done today. I'll do some videos on the stages of what I do. Stay tuned. I'm carrying on with the canards at the minute. As you can see, this is the shape that was on the car. On the video that I've done, I've come on to mounting a bit more of the foam across the edge. So once these are made out of fiberglass, I've got something that I can fix to the side of the car so they won't just drop off, or they're not just solely bonded on. I'll think about what I'm going to do now. I'll probably put some rib nuts in or something, and then I can just bolt them on and bolt them off, and we'll see where we go from there. But that is the overall shape on how they are in the styrofoam. I can't remember what this foam is actually called. So I've got a bit of tidying up still to do. But moving on from that, if you know, you know. Here's one I made earlier. Still nice and shiny. So I've wrapped it up in foil tape, solely because when it comes to mixing your resin and all the rest of it, I haven't got to sort out beeswax, I haven't got to sort a gel coat, I haven't got to do any of that. As a lot of you, I'm probably sure, well aware, I've watched a lot of YouTube videos the same as everyone else. So I've learnt that if you fiberglass just straight over this foil wrap, it doesn't actually stick very well to the wrap, to the foil, to the tape. So once the fiberglass and everything's gone off, you can just pretty much gently peel it off, and you ain't got to worry about wasting or getting a load of other products. You ain't got to worry about wasting a load more time. This is the first time I'm trying this. I've seen it on YouTube. Hope I'm doing it right. I guess we're going to find out together. Well, hey, we've got the front almost complete. We're about 90% right now of it being done, and I'm actually happy with it. I've got a couple of additions, which obviously you would have seen slight clips on me taking moulds and making parts. So obviously the things I think that you is in the video. Yeah, the thing that you would have seen was the making of the canards, which are over there somewhere, there, over there. So would have been the making of the canards. Now I'm not 100% set on the canards. I'm a little bit 50-50. Keeping in mind, for all of you guys that do aerodynamics and bits like that, I've done no aerodynamics. I just wanted a set of canards on the car just for styling, just for cosmetic looks. Whether it does anything or throws the car into a right wobbler is another thing altogether. I literally just done it for cosmetics. That is it. I wanted it to look a little bit different. I think I may remove them. I'm not too sure as yet. I'm going to wait until the car's fully painted, and then these are painted, and then I'm going to see how it looks. They're bolt on, bolt off. Yes, I'll have a few bolt holes in the side of the clam down here, but I'm not overly bothered. I can always fit them, repair them later, or I can use them holes, make some slightly different canards, something probably less aggressive, less big, and reuse them existing holes and then fill them back in. This front lip is another, again, one off. None of this is fixed into place. As you can tell, it bounces around. None of this is fixed in place other than the canards. I've just got the bolt holes, because obviously when it goes to paint, I don't want to then have to try and mark out and drill through it. So I've fitted them. This gets fitted underneath. There is going to be a solid plate from around here somewhere right up, and it's also going to hopefully have a little metal lip right on the very edge, just to help from splintering, cracking and things like when driving down the road. It look pretty cool, sparks flying off everywhere. Hopefully it won't hit the floor, but you know. So the car has had one layer of high build primer in it. As you can see, it's light grey. I was going to put 3 layers down, but the paint gun has decided to pack up. So I've got 1 layer down. I've seen some imperfections I'm not happy with. So this is going to be the final mock-up. I just need to put some skims of filler in certain places, skin it back, and then again a load of primer. So that is how the front end is done. The mesh is getting replaced. There's going to be new black mesh here, or I might paint that black and then just put a new bit of mesh in here, paint that one black again. There's some slight trimming, like in the headlights here. You can see all the fiberglass. It just needs trimming back. They're just for the light buckets, so the lights have got something to fit into. But as a whole, I'm pretty happy. The only thing I'm not too sure on, which you guys can give me your opinions. I'm more than open to opinions, suggestions. So feel free to comment and give us your thoughts. Tell me if I've done what you personally think could be wrong, or if you're in the trade, you could give me some pointers. But I mean, just for me that has no real background in any of this other than getting involved with it and just trying. This is what I've managed to create so far. So I hope you like it, and I hope you subscribe. On to the next section, which will be coming up soon in the next video. I hope you enjoy, stay tuned, and we'll try and get a few more videos out soon. Thanks guys.